Hey, everybody. So happy to have you here with me. And even those that are catching the replay. Today, we're talking about positive intelligence, a way for us to develop self-mastery in our mind by building these mental fitness muscles. I'm really excited to share this with you. I've been using this in my practice, as well as introducing it to people like Teresa here, who has been in the foundational program and on in the Grow program that's starting next week. So I'm super stoked to introduce this to you. A little bit about me in case you've never don't know much about me. I do energy healing work mainly, and now I'm developing. In the practice that I do the emotion code, the body code, and in 2-3 weeks time, I'll be certified in the belief code, which is a level 3 certification for Dr. Bradley Nelson, who uses the subconscious mind and kinesiology to find the root cause of any problems and physical, emotional, spiritual problems that we may have. And now I'll be able to identify limiting beliefs that are keeping us stuck, and also releasing them down to the root identity level. So I'm excited about that. And in my practice as an energy healer, which is subconsciously based, um, what I noticed is a lot of people, being people, want to do something. They don't understand how energy can just move and they can be free of it, because we are trained to think that we have to work hard to create the changes in our lives. And so I've always been interested in finding a conscious tool that people could apply so that they could grow every day on their own, so they can actually make the changes. And if you don't know anything about energy healing work that I do, usually under any problems that we have in our life is a trapped emotion. Now, emotions come from our thoughts. So my thinking is, if we can address things at the thought level, then we're able to change our thinking so we don't have to suffer as much and we don't create those trapped emotions, right? So this tool that I'm about to show you today has been super beneficial for me. And little did I know that I have been in practice of this for many years, and it's helped me make it through cancer, divorce, separation, leaving a 28-year career as a flight attendant, all of these hardships that I've had in just 6 months' time. I had all of that happen to me. And using these tools has enabled me to bounce back and be resilient and actually improve my life by leaps and bounds. And I'm just super excited to share this with you today. So this is a system that's based in research by a professor at Stanford called Shirzad Chamine. And basically what he did in his research was combine these areas of science: neuroscience, cognitive behavior psychology, performance science, and positive psychology, to create positive intelligence. And basically, it's a way to measure the percentage of time that our mind is either serving us or sabotaging us. And we can change it. We can actually use these skills to help us grow our mental fitness muscle. And so Shirzad has actually used this research for hundreds of CEOs. He's done coaching for them and applied it in many ways. And he's even created a best-selling book called Positive Intelligence. So he uses factor analysis, which is a scientific research measurement. So he's able to identify the root cause of the problems that we're having and why we're not happy, and being able to experience the fulfillment of our lives, as well as reaching goals and achieving what we want. So basically what he came down to is there's 3 factors that are affecting us, much like when we look at the many colors that we have of the rainbow. We can see that not just the rainbow, but the many colors that we have, really truly there's only 3 colors: red, yellow, blue. So he took that idea and he was able to see that there's 3 core muscles that we can build so that we are mentally fit. And the first, I'm going to go over all of them, and then we'll bring in your results from your saboteur assessment in a little bit. So the first is the saboteur interceptor muscle, the sage muscle, and then the self-command muscle. Now, positive intelligence is also the thing we're talking about, but the tool that is used for positive intelligence is called the PQ gym, or PQ stands for positive intelligence. It's also a way to build our mental fitness. And what this is, it's our ability to respond to challenges in life with a positive rather than a negative mindset. And it can impact many areas of our lives, both personally and professionally. So first, we're going to start with number one, the saboteur interceptor. And now this is where you possibly have taken your assessment to discover what are these negative voices in your head, and identify more about what's holding you back. So you might also have looked deeper into that and find out what are the characteristics, what are the thoughts related to my top saboteurs. So I'm going to stop share and bring you guys in and find out, did you take the assessment, and what you have anything you'd like to share about what you discovered on your about yourself and your saboteurs?
I didn't realize it, so I'm kind of taking it as you're talking here.
Okay, that's great. Ivy, did you take the test?
I took it, but I first realized that we were on the Zoom call now. I thought it was tomorrow morning, so I haven't checked it. I haven't checked it yet, but I took it.
Okay. And Teresa? Yes, she knows.
Yes, I took
And
it.
she's working on it.
Yeah, working hard
Awesome.
on it.
Yeah, it's a daily practice. Okay, so back to this really quick. So you'll be able to, once you get your results, you'll be able to dig deeper and to find out a little bit about what is stopping you in life. And there are 10 saboteurs. Only 9 of them were tested. And but there's one that we all have, and that is the judge saboteur. This is the universal saboteur, and it's always, every day, it's always judging ourselves, judging others, judging the circumstances that we're in and other people are in. Anything, it judges everything. And that's the most common voice. However, the judge is not alone. Sometimes he has accomplice saboteurs that come to join him. And these are the others. These are the other 9 that you were tested in the assessment. So you can see from this page that there are certain motivations and for each of them. Sometimes the saboteur wants to be safe and secure. And so that's why you would see the restless, hypervigilant, and the hyperrational. And then there's ones that want acceptance, like the people pleaser in you that we all have. And also, I want to tell you and caution you right now to stop, to not think that you are this. This is just these saboteurs are just parts of you that are being expressed because there's some motivation or some need that you need. So you can take a look at this chart and see a little bit about how they come into play. And they also don't play alone. Sometimes you'll have a controller and a pleaser, or something like that. They'll come and play together, with the judge. So here we go. So a little bit about this. So now these saboteurs are motivated through the negative emotions. So that's why they are in our heads. Like anytime negative, we are prone to think negatively. So that's where the saboteurs come in. The sage is motivated through positive emotions. And then they're also coming from different parts of the brain. So the saboteurs are coming mainly from the left brain, the limbic system, and the brainstem. And the sage comes from the right brain, and it's based on empathy circuitry and the middle prefrontal cortex. So we have to access different parts of our brain in order to get out of the negative thinking. And the saboteurs they might generate success, but not happiness. And Professor Shirzad Chamine, that created positive intelligence, he found that in working with high level CEOs in Silicon Valley, where he's based near Stanford, he found that so many people achieve so much success in life, but they're not happy. And that's because they let the saboteurs run their mind. So he has worked with them to shift into Sage, where they actually have more success, more fun in being more creative and enjoying their lives, finding happiness and benefiting success, finding success as well. So are negative emotions good for you? What do you think? Yes, no?
No.
No?
So
No?
Well, we're gonna all have them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So negative emotions are good in the sense that they can help us move out of pain, right? Like when we have when we touch the stove, we might go, oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I do that? Right. So now there's a negative saboteur, right? But that pain helped you move away from it. So negative emotions can help you because they alert you to make a change in your life. So the problem is that staying in the negative emotion hurts our ability to see and respond and make decisions. Because when we do this from an negative emotional state, we can't be clear. We can't find the best route because our emotions are involved. So that's why the negative emotions are considered saboteurs. Now, the next thing is Sage. So the Sage perspective, it lives, like I said, it lives in the right side of the brain, and it's associated with positive emotions, peace, calm, clear-headed focus, creativity, and they see the big picture because they're not emotionally attached to the negative outcome. They see it bigger, they're more optimistic. And then it operates from the Sage perspective, which is the Sage perspective is that every outcome or circumstance can be turned into a gift or opportunity. And that means even the times when we are at the lowest of low, if we can shift our perspective to see that what is the gift here? How can I take this how can I shift this so that it can be an opportunity for me in my future? So that is a Sage perspective, and it can be super helpful for you. And then the last one is self-command. And this is where the mental fitness comes in handy, and is what I was doing earlier to shift out of a little fear I had of presenting this today. So what it is 10-second PQ reps. And basically PQ again stands for positive intelligence. And it's a somatic practice that Shirzad Chamine created to get back into our body. Because whenever we are feeling fear or stress, it's because we're focused on the past or the future. We're not present. And so it's only through being present that we can actually create the changes that we want and feel more happy. So he's created an operating system, really, where this is something that's really, really, really important, is whenever we're feeling the negative emotions, we have the choice to stay in it and spiral in it and circle in it down and down and down. Because if you probably have the experience of when you get angry at someone for a minute, and instead of forgiving that situation and that person and moving on and forgiving yourself, sometimes we take it out on ourselves and we go into negative self-talk, or we can also not forgive the other person, and then we continue to circle back downwards in like resentment. Oh my God, I can't believe he did that. Oh, I have to do all of this now because he did that, and all of these things, right? So we can circle downwards in a negative spiral, but we have the choice to stop. Remember this hand on the stovetop? Stop and then do some PQ reps to quiet the saboteurs and activate the Sage. And then assume that there is that there is a gift or opportunity in every problem, and generate the gift by using the sage powers like empathy, curiosity, creativity, calm, and clear-headed action. So what is a PQ rep, right? Let's see if it's the next slide. Okay, well, I'll go over the PQ rep in a second, but basically, is it possible to really shift from the saboteur to the sage response, even in tough challenges? And the answer is yes. And it really depends on how quickly you develop these mental muscles to build this strength, mental strength. So that's why you don't leave your hand on the stove. How quickly you respond is how quickly you can shift things in your life. So lasting positive change requires this mental muscle more than insight. So like we all know, it's how we develop the mindset. It creates the change and the actions, especially when we step into the sage, where we can actually become focused on actions that are positive for us and lead us to the results that we want. And success requires intense initial practice. So now this brings me back to the PQ gym, where basically Shirzad created an app to put on your phone, and throughout the day you have access to it, and you start the day with a focus of the day, which is like less than 2 minutes focus, and then there's 3 times a day where you develop a weekly practice, a daily practice, where you go into the mental fitness gym and you actually do these somatic practices, like for instance, getting in your body by noticing the texture of your fingers, wiggling your toes, and listening to different sounds and things like that. So bringing you back to your senses, back into your body, so that you can start to make better decisions and find happiness and move away from stress. So that's what the PQ reps are. And this brings me to how it can benefit you. Basically, you can find it benefits for your personal life, better relationships. Instead of getting triggered by somebody, you can actually use the sage powers to see the person in their true essence and start to find more empathy and compassion for the people in your life, and then also help you with stress and parenting, and just make you more aware of what's going on here, because what your thoughts do is they create your reality. They create the emotions. Your emotions create the reality that you're living in. So by being able to tune into the thoughts, you're able to shift everything in your life. And it can also help you professionally with, conflict management, leadership, and things like that. And it can help you release stress, and which is always a result of sabotaging ourselves. So this is a little bit about the saboteur, interference, the sage, and the self-command muscles that we build through this program, the Positive Intelligence Program. And it's 6 weeks in duration. Shirzad has it all on the app. It's super easy. So every Saturday he releases a 1-hour video focus, and then you listen to it Saturday, Sunday, Monday for 1 hour. And then it requires you to have like a daily practice of 15 minutes in the app. You can opt out of the weekends if you don't want to practice on the weekends, but you'll still build the muscle, because you'll start to build the awareness of where your thoughts are taking you. And it also included is his book, the Positive Intelligence book. And I also support you in weekly group meetings and WhatsApp texting for support. So that's what it looks like. And what do you do if you're ready to jump into this and learn more? Is we're starting a pod next next Saturday, but there are ongoing pods. So if your timing is not right, then we'll have pods coming on every month. So what I'd like you to do is get on a call with me. We're all friends here, so you know how to reach me, and we'll coordinate, maybe even putting you on a wait list for a future program. But that's how it looks, and I am excited to stop the share because I see Derek's here too, and Paul is here. Awesome, we got some men in the house. Yeah, so I just kind of did a little overview of the program, and it was pretty fast too, because I know value your time. And do you have any questions about positive intelligence? Did you finish your assessment? You did, Michelle? Questions?
No, the results just came back. So my number one, maybe my biggest thing, I guess, is I'm an avoider and a pleaser.
Ah, okay, yeah. So those are things that we work on in the program. So once you have the awareness of it, then you're able to know what is it that is requiring, what is it motivating you to go to those saboteurs, and you're able to make the changes from there. And also the remember that you're not a people pleaser. It's just a part that is being expressed. And avoider comes with like procrastination and moving, I mean, professionally, I think the avoider can really stop us from success, but also in our relationships, sometimes we avoid communicating what we need, and that can also be a problem. So the avoider is a good saboteur to be aware of, so that you can start to make the moves in your life. Any other questions or sharing? No? Well, Derek and Teresa are both in my program. They did the foundation program, and now they're in the grow program. So if you guys want to share a little bit about where you were before taking it. Oh, just to let you guys know, I was doing a caregiver support group, and both Teresa and Derek were in that a few months ago. And I tell you, it's the reason I developed that program was because this is how it all came to me is one day I was caring for my mom, and I got so angry that I took off my bracelet and I flew it across the room. And that action made me step back and go, who is this person? This isn't me. This can't be me being so angry and frustrated. And then I realized, if I'm feeling this way caring for my mom, then there must be other people that are also experiencing this frustration. So that's why I created the caregiver group a few months ago, and that is Sage in Action. This is Sage in Action, and we all have this ability to see what turn a potentially negative spiral into something that we can leap off of and actually support others in their growth. I know that Michelle does hypnosis, and Ivy is an amazing artist, and she also has two beautiful daughters, and does hypnosis as well, right, Ivy? Yeah.
I have dabbled a little bit, but I'm not really practicing yet.
Yeah. So hypnosis is an amazing tool for subconscious reprogramming. And so it's great to see that we can use both subconscious and conscious mind to create a better future for us. Yeah. And I know Paul is here. He's in Colorado, I believe. And Derek is on the East Coast.
Yes.
Derek, would you like to share a little bit
Yeah,
about your
I
experience?
would, because I've got a snowstorm going on. I may have to go back outside and deal with that real soon. But yes, the thing that's so different about the positive intelligence thing is that it helps you deal with flare-ups in the moment. All the other stuff requires you to have your container and your right surroundings and their time to kind of meditate and all that stuff. And it's very valuable, and still, I'm still doing all that sort of thing. But to be able to stop one of these saboteurs hijacking you, giving you very negative emotions in the moment, and then being able to kind of turn a situation around from when you're really negatively interacting with someone to recognizing, hey, this is going on. You stop. They have little techniques that can take no more than 10 seconds. In 10 seconds, you can turn the whole situation around, turn that sage energy back on, and just lift the whole encounter out of the mud and into a good space. And that is absolute gold. And I am so glad that Gina introduced me to it. When I first took those saboteur tests, I was like, yeah, I guess. It took me a while to kind of really start to see them, because after I took the test, I was like, ooh, actually, yeah, I'm starting to recognize it just a little bit, but what do I do about it? And that 6-week program has been really good at developing the ability to just kind of start to think about how you can respond better when something comes up, especially, in the moment. You don't have to back out of the moment too far. Just, take a breath, pretty much. And I have not seen any other technique that gets you, moving so fast on the ground when you're in the situation. So I am extremely grateful for Gina bringing this up, and the caregiver group. And then yeah, I look forward to being in this continued grow program for the next 6 months, and really driving that home. So
Yeah. So
that's my
awesome.
little thing. Yeah, it's made a big
Yeah.
difference for me.
And can you give an example of when you used it?
Sure. Like, for instance, I am talking to my wife, and I'm starting to feel, like she's not seeing something that I did that she should be grateful for. But, okay, so it wasn't perfect, but oh my goodness. And I'm starting to really get myself agitated. And of course, she's reflecting that back to me. And so I'm like, I realize, this is one of those things. I'm getting the judge in here saying that she's wrong for not liking the thing I did, and also, or pulling out faults or whatever. But she's not wrong. She's right about it. And maybe I just need to take a moment. Whether she was wrong or right, it didn't really matter. I needed to do some of these little PQ, positive quotient activities, where you just kind of sense your surroundings for a bit, get out of your head and into your surroundings. So I did that for a little bit. And then when I came back, I was like, okay, let's investigate what you're talking about. And, like, what's wrong with this? How do we fix it? And it was a really simple fix that I was completely missing, because I was not in my sage mode. I was in a saboteur mode that was getting very defensive. So, yeah.
Awesome.
And just that sort of thing happens a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you shift, your wife shifts, because like
Oh,
you said,
absolutely. Yes.
it's
She
a
definitely
contagion.
mirrors very readily the kind of attitude that I put out there. And I think she's the one affecting me, but I'm affecting her. I can see that now.
Yeah.
Much more than I used to be able to.
Yeah. That's awesome. Growing for both of you
Yes.
in your relationship. Awesome. I'm so happy that you made it, even with a snowstorm. Thank you for coming. So awesome. Teresa, do you want to share anything? I love your Walmart story. It's hilarious.
I will tell a silly Walmart story, but no, I agree with Derek. One thing I've learned through this program is that not an altercation, but in a conflict situation, when you're having a conversation with someone, you always tend to think it's the other person that's wrong. But what this program does is it teaches you to say, wait a minute, stop. And it takes away you stop and you identify whether you're a controller, an avoider. You identify the problem that's creating the stress and the confrontation. And you, like he said, you do the PQ reps, you relax, and then you choose the other path of exploring, or let's come up with a better idea, let's take your idea and make it a good idea. Or, it just teaches you to work with other people. In my job as a flight attendant, we were always kind of in charge. We were in control. In my job as a mother, I was always in control. So in my life, I've always been in control. I thought that was normal, but it's not. That's not the way the world works. We can't control anything around us. So what this program does is it teaches you to, when you start feeling stress, to identify the problem and come back to center and choose an easier path for you, a more positive approach. And my one story, one of my big things that I don't enjoy is going to Walmart or Costco or anywhere like that, because there's too many people and there's all families and they're all have baskets and they're all standing in the aisle and it's just a stressor. And so right before Christmas, I had to go to Walmart, and I drove there dreading the whole trip. And I sat in the parking lot, and I had I've learned that I'm very tactile. And so if I find something soft to rub, it brings my frustration back to center so that I can then stop and think more straightforward and logical rather than thinking in a stressed mode. And so I sat in my car and I rubbed this little soft thing I had in my car, and I thought about it, and I breathed real deep for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I've got this. I can do this. And so I go into Walmart, just skipping and singing because I'm convincing myself that this is going to be a pleasant experience. And I get in there and I do good. I'm able to go straight to where I need, each place, get each thing. But then I get to the section where everybody is, and you're still trying to get around the carts. And so I could feel my frustration start building again. So I found the house goods section, and I found a soft blanket, and I went and I'm like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful blanket I've ever seen. And so I rubbed the blanket for a minute, and it brought me back to center. And I'm like, okay, Teresa, and you just keep going. You can choose your easier path rather than being stressed for a while longer. I think the saboteurs create our stress.
You do. Mm-hmm.
And the sage helps you function in an unstressful thought process. I don't really know how to explain that, but always still a work in progress, because it's hard to take a bossy person and make them a not bossy person. But I'm working on it. So anyway, no, the positive, it is a continuous, again, work in progress. And I'm really excited about the GROW program because, again, Gina and Derek and I have gone through this positive intelligence program. And so now we will continue on through this GROW program. And I think with the three of us will be working together to, Derek and I will both be identifying things that we want to concentrate on. And then Gina will be helping us to achieve those goals that we want to achieve, whether I want to get rid of the controller, whether I want to get rid of my over talkativeness or whatever. I don't know what. I'm going to have to come up with those goals still, because we have our meeting on Monday.
We do.
But anyway, no, the positive intelligence has truly helped me to just identify what causes the stress in my life and stop it, and then go to another path. And that's the easiest way I can describe it, is just helping me stay centered and choose the right way to do something rather than the stressful method.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you so much.
It's helped me a lot in my relationship with my husband. Again, he thinks I'm bossy, and I've learned that I need to stop and listen to him and, let him. Anyway, I've learned a lot. Thank you, Gina. I really appreciate it. And Derek, thank you too.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I mean, it's also helped your relationship with your mother.
And my mother, yeah.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
My
And
mother, yes.
we will also be applying this to your future where you're gonna look for a new career path.
Right.
Oh yeah,
That
it's
will
gonna
be
help
my
out.
main goal in our next 6 weeks, is try to figure out, because I retired at the same time Gina did during COVID. And we retired obviously due to COVID, but I'm too young to have retired. So I need to find another passion for the rest of my life. And hopefully this class will help me do that
Yes, it
through my
will.
coaching. Yes,
Yeah, so stoked about that.
I am
So
too.
yeah, so I'm just really thankful to have you all here today. If you have any questions, shoot them at me now. No. Paul, do you have any questions? I know he's here. He types in the comments. You will see. Is there a replay? Yes, Paul, I will send you the replay because I know you came in late. But I appreciate all of you, and we will be in contact. I will send out the replay and also a link so that you can, book a session with, a call with me, and we can dive deep into what are your goals and how this can help you. And yeah, I'm just stoked on that, and I will be back with you on that. I appreciate your time. Ivy, have a great sleep. It's almost sleep time. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And it's great seeing all of you. So have a great Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. And we will be in contact. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Gina.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.